weekend. Take care now. Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome to the 6 o'clock news on sbynews.com. We've had a few breaking stories today that we want to touch base on with you. Number one was the letter I received from Worcester County State's Attorney Joel Todd in reference to the Christine Sheddy case. It turns out that it was in fact her body, as we had suggested the beginning of the week. And while our thoughts and prayers go out to her family, her parents, we're grateful for the hard work that they've put in Worcester County to resolve this case. And we're grateful that the family can put her body to rest and move on with their lives. I know that sounds simple, and I apologize for that, folks, but it really is the best that I can offer. I truly do feel for that family. On top of that, we also received news and broke the news before anybody in the country in reference to the female that was found at the Delaware Memorial Bridge earlier this afternoon. There is a suggestion that perhaps this is the woman who is the missing mother of a child from New Jersey. The husband apparently is already incarcerated, but we don't have any details. It's just been suggested that that might be a possibility, but we'll keep you posted on that as we move along. Folks, let's talk about Mayor Ireton's letter today, or his op-ed piece. And you'll have to forgive me because I'm going to read from some of my notes here at some point in time, because I don't want to miss anything. But let's first start talking about impact fees. You know, the mayor's trying to imply there are none, and this is completely misleading. You know, I hold in my hand right here, this is the water and sewer impact fees for the city of Salisbury, and we're not talking about the county fees and schools and so forth at this point in time, but this is just the impact fees for the city. And so you know, the impact fees for a residential home is about $8,500 for the capital improvement of water and sewer system for the city of Salisbury. That's if you're in the city. If you're outside the city and you want to use their system, it's far more than that. But altogether, if you tack on the county school fees and so forth, your property that you're considering perhaps developing, and or you're a developer considering building a home on a piece of property, it's going to be about an average of $20,000 just to build a home in the city of Salisbury. Folks, that's just outrageous. You know, with government the way it acts as it is now, and the way things are going, the problem that we have is we're not encouraging economic and development. We're trying to really, in a sense, when you have these ridiculous fees, discourage it. Okay, the smart way to go about things, in my opinion now, this is just my opinion, is to eliminate the impact fees. Just get rid of them. You want to build economic and development, you want to build a tax base, whether it's corporate, whether it's residential, you eliminate them. Find other ways to go about it. But you don't have these impact fees to make it impossible for people to afford a new home, especially as property values are coming down. You know, these banks are not going to tolerate these additional fees for things that don't fall within your appraisal, per se. Maybe they do, but I don't think they should if they do. Anyhow, let's move on to this situation with the perhaps illegal purchase of yet another piece of equipment, a $100,000 dump truck that Louise Smith is involved with, as well as Pam Oland and the city solicitor. And from my notes, I have here that it's a violation of the city charter, which makes it a misdemeanor and provides those who participated cannot continue in office, either elected or appointed. If convicted, they're toast. In this case, the council president, Louise Smith, signed a contract, as did Pam Olin and the city attorney, who attested to the paperwork being proper. Now, Councilwoman Cohen and Councilwoman Campbell, as I've mentioned before in the past, have busted their rumps for the taxpayers of the city of Salisbury. And they are honorable. They have been in an uphill battle all the years that they've been there. If I were in their shoes, I'd toss the paperwork and say I'm done. I'm tired of fighting for people that don't show up for meetings. I'm tired of fighting for people that don't show respect for the things that they do. Women who are verbally attacked by Gary Comegys, Mike Dunn, Barry Tillman, yet, God forbid, either one of Campbell or Cohen try and defend themselves, they get shut down by the council president because they're defending themselves. And it's just been an uphill battle for them. And in this case, I think they've got plenty enough to finally go after these people and say, enough is enough, because we're not just talking about this $100,000 piece of equipment. We're talking about, and I caught them last year where they were, what did they call that? They were taking equipment and unloading it. The fire truck, a ladder truck as an example. They sold it to the town of Pittsfield. And one thing that they didn't do that I personally caught them at, and brought to everybody's attention, was that the equipment also went with the truck. It wasn't surplus, and that's the word I was looking for, sorry. But that was not surplus, just the truck was. So they had to readjust their legislation, turn things around, and start adding it in. And of course the council didn't question it. Gary, Shaney, and Louise, they just figured, hey, it's a gimme, because they're raised improperly as far as finances are concerned. I mean, you can't just keep giving away a $100,000 fire truck, give it away for $5,000, and then have another $100,000 worth of equipment on there and just give it away. But if we didn't break it down and go after everything that was on that fire truck that they were giving away, you'd have seen some, well, most of the equipment did go with it, but some of the equipment had to stick around to get used on the new fire truck, and that the city had recently paid for it, and it was just going to be gifted. I'm all about helping other municipalities. I don't have a problem with that. But I think the city of Salisbury taxpayers have been beaten up enough. It's time for another Beverly Hills town to give up their free equipment and stop playing this game. But Mayor Ireton has a liability in this as well. He ran a campaign telling us that he was not going to have the same kind of administration as Barry Tillman. I haven't seen it yet, Jim. Seeing the same kind of governing going on, and I hope that changes, because if it doesn't, I think we're going to have plenty enough people around here to unite and come after you people. And this is what makes us different from your local mainstream media, who are too afraid to step up to the plate and challenge the administrations and our elected officials. So we're going to keep at it. It is Friday. We missed the heavy snow once again. We got fortunate. I'm personally grateful for that, because I'm tired of running around with a snowblower and clearing out driveways and sidewalks. But anyway, we got lucky. The weather's supposed to warm up for next week. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate your support, folks. I hope you come back Monday through Friday next week. We'll have a show each day. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.